Now, like I said before and in the previous video, this is horrific. There's no two ways about it. Okay? I'd like to get to the bottom of this because every single governmental report, everything that we've been seeing so far, it's all very politically driven. Oh, those schools were just genocide camps. They were erasing cultures of native Canadians, and it's like, okay, can we just get to the fucking facts? But no, there's barely any facts out there. All we know is most of the schools were shut down in the late 60s, and then 1997, the final one that was barely functional and wasn't nearly running the exact same type of schooling it had in decades past was finally shut down. And now, all of a sudden, remains that have been in the ground for decades at this point are being uncovered. And like I said, it is sad, it is tragic, and I don't want to diminish any of that tragedy because it's just that. Kids are dead. I just want to know why we didn't know about this sooner, okay? How can all of these kids be dead? Over 180 and a third find, okay? And then the second one, it was over 751 unmarked graves were discovered in Saskatchewan. And then to go on top of the 300 and change, when you take into account this discovery and then the initial one just outside of Kamloops, why didn't any of these deaths go reported? Okay? Like, wouldn't you think that the parents of these children would have a vested interest in figuring out what happened to my kid? Okay? Why wasn't any of this discovered earlier? Why wasn't any of this reported earlier? There's so many unanswered questions, but Trudeau and his government got the race battle that he can stick his flag in, wear his skin suit, wear his protection so he can continue to ruin what is left of this country. And the response to this has been very one-sided, not something that I appreciate. A Canadian Indigenous group has said 182 unmarked graves have been discovered in the South Interior, the province of British Columbia, the third such discovery in the past 2 months, near former Catholic schools. The burial site is located at the former Catholic-run St. Eugene Mission School. The Lower Kootenay Band announced on Wednesday the community of Cackham? Sure. Or St. Mary's Indian Band, based near the city of Cranbrook, made a gruesome find after using radar detection equipment, which apparently pointed to there being graves behind, about a meter below the surface. Last week, 751 unmarked graves were uncovered in Catholic schools at a Catholic school in the Saskatchewan province. Another Indigenous community announced. Yeah, I think this one was just outside Saskatoon. I've seen that as well. I was just waiting for all of this stuff to just either start to kick off, wrap up, or we get some more stuff. And unfortunately, we found some more. The discovery came after the remains of 215 children, some as young as 3 years old, were found at another Catholic school in British Columbia in May. St. Eugene's, now a casino and resort. You can't make this stuff up. It was run by the Catholic Church from 1890 until the 70s, according to Truth and Reconciliation Commission, who again is writing all of these hyperbolic reports where if you sift through them, it just reads like a gender studies paper. Oh, my patriarchy, oh, my genocide. Well, a quarter of me would beg to differ to genocide, and then the people in Sturgeon Lake, High Prairie, and Horse Lake would beg to differ as well, or they just think that it wasn't necessarily as effective as other genocides that have been run. Fucking stupid. The Indian Residential School History and Dialogue Center said the school was hit by frequent outbreaks of influenza. Oh my god, they should have wore masks and socially distanced. Mumps, measles, chickenpox, and tuberculosis. As many as 100 people from the Lower Kootenay Band had been forced to attend the institution, the group said. Okay, but they found 215 children, and 100 people from this one band were there. None of these numbers are making sense. More than 150,000 Indigenous children were required to attend Catholic-run state schools in Canada from 1870s until 1997. In 2015, the first year of Justin Trudeau's presidency, and when all of this stuff started to kick off, a report by the Commission said the government forced assimilation of Indigenous students, and the system itself could best be described as a cultural genocide. And that's a quality reporting you get from Canada's government. Again, I don't know, because there's very little to actually know about this situation, because not much of it was documented, and run by this partisan government body, we're never really going to know. All we're going to know is what the response has been so far by the people who read this stuff, take it at face value, and just need to do something, because, man, people in 2021 should pay the price of horrific tragedies that happened decades ago. Fire destroys 2 Catholic churches on Canada's Indigenous lands. So yeah, on reserves themselves, they're burning down their own stuff. So it's just another day that ends in Y on a reserve. If you guys have ever been through one, you know it's not a great place to be, because they treat their own stuff like shit. National Canadian Police, it's just the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, but why would they be talking to somebody in Montreal? Oh, this is the New York Times after all. We're just using a whole bunch of different authorities today. We're investigating on Tuesday after 2 century-old Catholic churches burned to the ground within hours of one another on Indigenous lands in British Columbia. Indigenous leaders said they were particularly disturbed by the timing of the fires, whatever could that be in relation to, which took place on National Indigenous Peoples Day, which celebrates Indigenous culture. Yeah, which was effectively genocided. Okay, that's weird. The fire comes at a particularly raw moment, just weeks after unmarked graves of 215 children were found near former church-run schools in British Columbia. Yeah, so if those churches weren't burnt down a couple of weeks ago, they would have been taking a fucking fat one in the recent weeks as well. All the circumstances remain murky. Really, bro? Investigators said one line of inquiry was arson. I wonder why. Are you that fucking dim? Stand a little closer to a church, why don't you? Investigators said another possible motive was anger at the Roman Catholic Church. Duh! The 2 churches are about 120 miles from the Kamloops Indian Residential School, where the children's graves were discovered on grounds in May. You think? You fucking think? Yeah, it's not the only one. Another Catholic church set on fire, this time in Nova Scotia, where none of these schools have been dug up yet? Okay. Catholic church located on Indigenous land in Nova Scotia. Yeah, see, where have you ever seen a people who have lost a legitimate war before been capitulated to so much in any other country around the world? Maybe Palestine. But in all honesty, this is where all of that multiculturalism plays out in real life, okay? You want to bend to their will whenever. You want to continue to drag up, oh, we're sorry how badly you were treated, every fucking day of the week. And then you want to keep telling people that they're victims over and over and over and over again. Well, not actually addressing any of the root causes, just sticking them on their individual land. And if you guys break your own toys, it's your own problem. Just remember to vote Liberal next time the elections roll around, and don't worry about it. The RCMP says is investigating the fire, which took place at St. Kateri Tekawatha Church on Sipkanakadak, sure, First Nation in Nova Scotia, according to CBC state broadcaster. Fuck off. Corporal Chris Marshall, oh, white man! A spokesperson for the police said the fire department and the Indian Brook RCMP were dispatched at the church at near 4:20 in the morning. Just about blaze it. The Caitlin Healing and Cultural Center, which is attached to the church, suffered damage, according to a spokesperson for the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Halifax-Yarmouth. Thankfully, nobody was injured. Indeed, but you guys are trying to burn down your own friendship center. Congratulations, you're real fucking smart. And that's not all. Police investigating suspicious fire at Catholic church in Yellowknife. Once again, okay, none of this stuff is at... Okay, so you got Nova Scotia. You got a couple in BC you can rationalize, but then Yellowknife? And... Okay, maybe that's... Okay, Inuit... If you're really stupid, you could just lump in natives and Inuit into the same conversation, and then you'd be just about as smart as the same people who think that the Edmonton Eskimos were too racist to continue to be called the Edmonton Eskimos, and now they have to be named after fucking roadkill. Oh boy. Don't institutionalize intersectionality. This is what you get. RCMP are investigating what they're deeming a suspicious fire. Really? Really, bro? A suspicious fire at St. Patrick St. Patrick's Co-Cathedral Catholic Church in Yellowknife. The fire broke out shortly after midnight Thursday. The building sustained minor damage. No one was injured, thank God. There have been a number of recent fires at churches throughout Canada following the discovery of what they believed to be unmarked burial site of children's remains adjacent to former residential school in Kamloops. And again, we just keep being told these are unmarked graves. Okay, maybe they're marked graves. Okay, they're mass graves. We're finding remains somewhere. Do we know how many people are dead? Because the bones would still be there. This hasn't been centuries at this point. Can we fucking get a head count on this stuff? I'm just asking. And I think I'll say this for like the 50th time. Don't want to diminish any of the tragedy that's been here. I just want to know what the fuck we're dealing with here. If this is all of our problem and we need to reflect on the situation, you should probably, start tallying some stuff up. But that's not all. Don't worry, there's another church, okay? Catholic Church north of Edmonton. Oh boy, in my backyard, basically. North of Edmonton, a little closer to Grand Prairie, but north of Edmonton, destroyed by fire in the middle of the night. Fire crews were called to a fire at the church at 3 a.m., and by the time they got there, the entire building was engulfed. Looks like an old church, looks like what used to be a beautiful church, but now it's gone. Alberta fire crews from multiple communities responded to the fire at St. Jean Baptiste Parish at 3 a.m. Wednesday morning. The Roman Catholic Church started in Morinville's. Oh man, I've been through there. Main Street was left utterly destroyed by fire. Officials say started in the basement and was too dangerous for fire crews to enter the building. The cause of the fire is still undetermined. It's exactly the same reason the other, 4 churches have burnt. Really. And again, any of these residential schools in the Edmonton area get dug up and somebody's cousin got fucking found in one of these mass graves or whatever we're calling it? No, it's just these fucking little activists, and especially around Edmonton with St. Albert, which would be close to where this is at, proximity-wise, on the back of their mayor and their city council unanimously voting to cancel celebrations for Canada Day. You have a church go up and smoke? Imagine we're going to have some stuff to talk about in the aftermath of what used to be a great day, but's now been overtaken by radicals. And speaking of which, our lovely Premier of Alberta, Jason Kenney, he's a conservative, one of those types. He condemns violent hate crimes against churches and says that they are profoundly un-Canadian. This is the same asshole who made it illegal and who put pastors in jail in Calgary, in Edmonton, other side of Edmonton, so maybe that's a little bit different. Oh yeah, and in Edmonton proper itself. Yeah, he'll close up your shop, but if somebody burns it down, that's un-Canadian? Okay, I see where you're at. Eventually we'd open them back up. Okay, do you have a timetable on that? Apparently restrictions are lifted today, but I wouldn't hold my breath to say that we're going to be back to normal, because they still got to, fearmonger over that Delta strain that could be coming at any time now. Just be scared and hold on to your mask. Another Catholic church was burned to the ground, but this time in Morinville, Alberta, the 6th place of worship to be vandalized over a week. So we missed a couple. Cool. Good to know. Alberta fire crews responded to the fire at St. Jean Baptiste Parish at 3 a.m. Wednesday. The fire destroyed the century-old structure that officials say started in the basement. About 50 firefighters were on the scene, working rotating shifts to avoid heat-related injuries. Yeah, buddy, because that would have been yesterday, and I can't speak for Edmonton or Morinville specifically, but overnight, I think it got to about 25 overnight. Yeah, that's about as low as it got. It's finally starting to cool off, mostly because there's going to be a motherfucker of a storm rolling in here really quickly. So I'm trying to get everything in order. But yeah, man. Again, what? So it's not enough to fucking burn down a church. You're going to try to kill some firefighters, some actual heroes. Cool, but yeah, you guys are fighting the fash. Ugh. In a government press release, Alberta's government unequivocally condemned the recent arson attacks at the targeted Christian churches. Again, they can't even get their fucking attacks right. Oh, we see a cross, therefore you guys are bad. Again, it's the same thing as lumping fucking Inuits in with the rest of the other native bands that were affected by these tragedies. Just abject assholes. Just kids with more fucking pent-up frustration, not being able to, I don't know, go to those indoctrination camps. Oh, I'm sorry, their own public schools. I don't know who these kids are. We don't have any suspects, and we're not likely to have any suspects. These are just going to be 100-year-old landmarks for different little towns, and Morinville's not that fucking big, so this is a significant loss to their community. No, you can't have these kids go back to school, and plus they're going to be out for the summer anyways, but they spent a vast majority of last year and this year all fucking cooped up just because we need to keep people safe because that's Canadian. Fuck off. So in response of not being able to go in and have their minds genocided, indoctrinated through the public school system, they're taking all of their bad information out there and just attacking any sort of Jesus worshipping church that's out there, all in the name of social justice. Again, I do this stuff a lot. I research this stuff as much as I can before I present any of this information to you guys, and I don't even know the root cause of this stuff. I don't even know how many people are actually in the fucking ground to be dug up. But no, these activists, these fucking ill-informed children that are out there burning churches down somehow think that that's a great idea, but I think we know one place where it's not going to be happening, because Edmonton proper, the festering shithole it has become. It used to be a really decent place. I always held it in a little less regard than Calgary for sure, and probably below Red Deer, and Medicine Hat was pretty nice. So yeah, it's somewhere there. A place I visited a lot as a child and haven't been back for quite a while, and don't really intend to based on what I'm seeing out of there. No, they're gonna try to legalize public intoxication. Yeah, exactly, and it's working swimmingly, because instead of addressing any of the root causes there, the fucking worthless mayor that they have there thinks that it's a good idea to allow people to get drunk in public, because instead of addressing the homeless crisis and the opioid epidemic that's sweeping Edmonton, no, just allow people to do shit in public, and that'll be fun. 31 tickets issued in first month of Edmonton's pilot project on public alcohol consumption. Oh, don't worry, it's just alcohol, bro. It's definitely not going to be any fucking intravenous drugs or somebody banging rocks with Hunter Biden if he ever makes a visit. It's been 1 month since Edmonton launched its pilot program that allowed public alcohol consumption of 47 areas across 7 city parks. Oh, great. Get drunk in the fucking park during the summer. How could this possibly go wrong or not drive up homeless numbers? Great. Just making parks a safer place to be, you fucking asshole. And overall compliance has been good. Yeah, I wonder how much time you spent in these fucking city parks or these 47 areas of consumption. Just drop dead, dude. We always knew that some people would try to take advantage of the pilot project. You think you're partially decriminalizing something that, I don't know, has been on the books for a while. Public intoxication, you probably heard of it. But you're telling people, oh yeah, you can get drunk in public. Only over there, and behind that rock, just over there, yeah, you can drink there. But if you're over there, or if you're a little bit behind you, or actually where you're standing right now, that's illegal. But if you just take a couple of steps to your left, yeah, you can drink there. Don't worry, that'll be fine. Just sit on the bench. It's there for you. And hey, if it gets a little bit too warm, or if you've had a little bit too much to drink, we wouldn't want you to drive away. No, that's still illegal right now. You can just go ahead and curl up and just lay on the bench. Don't worry about it, asshole. Who is this dick? John, not even going to pretend to know how to pronounce that. Dickhead. Might as well be. There are clearly demarcated areas. Oh, imagine that. People who would normally be breaking the law aren't following the laws. Who fucking could have seen that one coming? Where responsible alcohol consumption is permitted. I normally associate people who want to get drunk in public as being responsible with their booze, and it is prohibited elsewhere. Ooh. That's tough talk. That's like the cool stepdad with the cool band tee that definitely doesn't want to hit on his stepdaughter's friends with his cool wine coolers. 71% of respondents voted in support to ensure a better picnic experience. Sure, yeah. Just go ahead and justify your stupid policies by just nitpicking one little fucking tiny issue. Oh, we want to have a beer in a public park when we're out picnicking for the 4 months out of the year when you actually can. Cool, we'll just go ahead and ruin public facilities for that such occasion. Sounds great. Go fuck off. But that's what, yeah, Alberta, the capital city of the greatest province, fuck you, fight me, in all of Canada. That's what they're concerned about. And Jason Kenney with negative self-awareness saying that, oh yeah, oh, what you guys are doing to churches is really bad and un-Canadian. Meanwhile, at the same time, it's Pastor Coates, Artur Pawlowski, and the other fellow whose name is escaping me, currently being politically prosecuted for having the audacity of trying to run their congregation. But at least they didn't set it on fire, right? Oh, fuck yourself. So that'll wrap it up for our Canada Day festivities. I hope you enjoyed the really nice day outside. If you could just, I don't know, kind of combat the smoke that's rolling in from BC and from all the burning churches that are around here. Spent it with your family, because if I could just be anecdotal for a moment, if I haven't been for most of this anyways. But I was out this morning exercising, going for a run, because I can't be relying on going to the gym anymore. So I was out for a run. It's like, oh, it's Canada Day. It's a really nice day. It's starting to get a little bit more manageable. It was only like 25 degrees when I was out there. So, you know, it's a hell of a lot better than approaching 40 or 40 plus. So you're out there, you're running around, you see, and it's like, oh, fuck, all the grass is really dead. This place is looking kind of depressing with the overcast weather. Clouds are rolling in, and it's just kind of fucking really bad. But then you start to look around, and then you see a bunch of people with their family piling into their vehicles. Okay, people are, you know what, taking their little kids to the parks that are nearby, and all just hanging out and celebrating what was normally just a day of celebration with your family, and appreciating the gifts that Canada provided you in order to live the life of comfort that you've become accustomed to. And I seen that, and it immediately really changed my perception of the day. Okay, yeah, grass is a little bit fucked up, but we can fix that. It's just like the government right now. Yeah, it's a little fucked up, but we can fix it over time. That's fine. But what really matters is what your opinion on all this is. If we're all in this together to make Canada a better place, to make it better for people who will be here long after we're gone, then we're going to be on the right track. And if we go back and just reference the previous video, and then what Boris Johnson was talking about there, an actual leader for a real country, that we're all in this together. We're all working towards common values. I think that's what I share with a lot of people who view these videos, and I'm happy to do that, and I'm happy to celebrate this day, because I do love Canada at the end of it. And like I said, there's just a little bit of housekeeping we need to attend to. Other than that, I think it's a wonderful place to live, a place that I'd like to live in the future. I just don't see any hope in the short term, but in the medium and long term, I think we can get past some of these retarded policies that have been put in place. It's not too late yet, guys. Hope you enjoyed the day. Hope you enjoyed the evening, and we'll catch you all tomorrow. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. See y'all later.